Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Joe. I don't know if you remember from the last video, but my cat interrupted me, so now my cat has gotten bored and moved on so I could finish my video. We're continuing on stage 81, building the Batmobile from the 1966 classic TV series. In the magazine you get every magazine equals a different episode of the series, and you get a short, brief summary of that episode. Honestly, growing up, I was born in the late '60s, and so I didn't watch these Batman shows till the '70s, mid '70s. And I can tell you right now that what they aired was not all of these episodes. They left out a lot and just kept rerunning the same old episodes over and over and over. Because like going through this book, I don't remember more than half of these episodes. Now, if you grew up in the late 50s, early 60s, you probably remember them. You watched them aired for the first time live. But in the 70s, no. We did not get to experience all of these episodes. Look at that, 81 episodes. There's no way I saw 81 episodes. And we still have maybe 40 stages to go. So that means 40 more episodes. That's crazy. I was ripped off. So anyway, here we are. This is the magazine. It also goes through classic Batman, great Batman comics year by year. So many comics. All of these popular characters have. Okay, here's our car parts. We're gonna be doing more little stuff like the detective scope console, the bezel, the scope screen, the scope LED housing. Okay, so the first thing we're doing was taking this piece, looks like this, and we're going to install this guy. I'm not sure which way it goes. Does it go from the top down? No, it's not fitting. Oh, okay, there we go. So, hate seeing fingerprints. It's a bad thing about working on black cars. You see every imperfection. So we take this guy and we install it on here. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over and install 2 KP screws. You're going to love these builds, even though they take a little while. I wish they would give you more stages per monthly subscription. That way you get it done faster. But I also like the fact that you get so many extra screws. You never run out of parts and stuff. Okay, so we're installing it here. Okay. It did say KP screws, right? Yeah. Let's try this again. It's like being difficult. I think I have to open up those holes some because the screw's not passing through. Hold on a second. Okay, I was trying to push it in the hole, but you just got to start screwing it right away. And that'll hold the detectoscope in. Okay, once again, we get rid of my fingerprints. Not sure if the arrow is supposed to be facing that way or another way, but it's the way I'm putting it. Okay, we gotta flip this bad boy over again, and we're gonna install this guy. Looks like that goes on there. Okay. Goes inside this hole here. Oh, this is the housing to put an LED light in. That's cool. Let me get a screw ready. You want an AP screw? Yeah, like when the first model I did from Fanhome was the R2D2, and that was 4 stages a month. Oh my God, that was painful. You know, but I stuck it out. I did not quit. But you know, after a year, you know, I was tired of it. I was, you know, uninterested. And since then, I've always, you know, I always recommend things for the better for somebody or a business. Hopefully they took some of my advice and, you know, because they started making other builds with more stages per month. You know, hopefully I had something to do with that. They'll never tell me and give me credit for it, but that's okay. Because if they give me credit for it, then they should give me like a consultation fee, you know, so probably improve their business. Okay, we got this guy in there. Still a little loose. I'm afraid to tighten it more because, you know, I hate screwing these metal screws into the plastic, you know, a millimeter too far, and then you strip it out. All right, so back to the front side. We have to install some dials and switches. So we get 2 switches. Don't look like they need glue, hopefully. And here are the dials. And it looks like they just get pushed through. So we got dial, dial, switch, dial, dial. Oh, and there you go. I'm gonna go find that guy. Let me do this off screen, off film, and so I don't have to be nervous. Hey, I got a little carried away there. I forgot to hit re-record, but I got the detectoscope done. I dropped one of the knobs. It's around this general vicinity somewhere. Maybe I'll find it one day. I just won't vacuum in this area, and hopefully I'll step on it and find it. But that's all there is to it. I had to pull the LED like I thought, plug it into that bracket, and then that connects to the rest of the dashboard. And then the next step in stage 81 was to install the cockpit onto the floor pan. So just trying to do some wire management here. So many wires. Trying to keep everything neat. All these brake lines and fuel lines are a freaking nightmare. The instructions are very inadequate on where all of them are going. Even this radiator line still hanging off somewhere. And if you see the mess under here, got all these brake lines, fuel lines. I got a whole bunch here. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I'll probably just pull them off because no one's gonna inspect under there, I think. So anyway, we are up to stage 82, and that includes episode 82. Batman's fighting the Joker again. Maybe the fifth time he fought the Joker. But like I said earlier, I don't remember all of this. On the TV series, 81 episodes. No, I never watched 81 episodes. Batman year by year. And my car parts. What do we have? Left switch box. Right switch box, a switch, red button, black button base. Spark super rocket switch. So let's go in and check all of this out. Okay, we're back. This is the parts for stage 82. I gotta tell you, this Batmobile, that's for them to make things high-tech back in the day. Just add more buttons and switches and it'll look high-tech, you know, where we actually see high-tech today. It's reduced down to a screen and everything's touch screen, and you just change programs to get to where you need, you know, because you just think about it. Have your cell phone, you got 100 apps on there, each app controls something different. You know, you don't have physical buttons for everything, taking up a lot of space. Just a little thought I had here. So first thing we're gonna do, we're going to install 4 switches into the switch box, which is this. Oh yeah, I noticed on here, I don't know if you can see it, super detailed. They got some writing on here. Let me look under my microscope. Got a microscope here. Zoom in. Even that's not showing up. Oh, okay. If you see, like, it says on off. It's so tiny. I don't know how they printed that on there. It's so tiny. It's like the on off switch. Okay. So let me get going here. Pull things off the tree and start installing these. Okay. Easiest way I could find getting these little buttons in these holes is you have to choke up on your tweezer. All right. And each one of these switches have like a ridge. Okay, and then you put this down and you just push it through like that. So let me finish these up and I'll get back to you. Here we are so far. I got this switch box done. Took a little bit, but now we're gonna start on this switch box. It's got this microscopic on-off lettering on it. So let me get that and I'll be right back. Okay, let's get up to speed. So those switch boxes, they installed to the dashboard right here. And so the front of the dash looks like this. You probably won't see it when it's installed into the cockpit. There's no way you could get inside there and look at it. We installed 2 LEDs, one for the detectoscope, one for this, what is that? Your compass. Okay, and now the last thing we have to do is install these doors, and I installed these 2 switches. I was wondering what goes there. You got your little screen. Is install the doors, and then we're going to install this in the car. Okay, so let me do this real quick and I'll be right back. All right, these two roll-up doors to cover the switches and the screen there, they did not fit as tightly as this one, and this one. Like they just went right on. These like kind of snapped into place. And perhaps that is so when you display this, you could maybe remove these relatively easy, and so you could display more. Well, these will not remove. There's nothing behind them. That's probably the reason. All right, so let's install this into the car. And these just kind of slide right in, semi-snug. Okay, I will be right back. Or rather, let me just wheel this guy out. This goes on. I guess the wires are gonna go. That looks okay. This probably loops around and plugs in like that, but it only calls for 2 screws for now. Kind of flimsy. Hopefully that stiffens this up here. And let's see, anything else? Yep, and then it wants me to connect the 2 wires that we removed. And they say just kind of connect them, wrap them around, connect them. Alrighty, you get the point. Let me get. Okay, here we go. We're up to stage 83. I got that dashboard installed. And this next episode, we start off with the special guest villainess, Julie Newmar, the Catwoman. Episode 83. Let's go through the rest of this magazine. Great Batman comics, year by year. That's cool. Batman with the big sword. That'd be cool. Until we get to our car parts. And this, we're going to be working on the steering wheel and steering column. So we have our steering wheel. Pretty hefty, solid metal. And it wants us to install these guys. What are these things? Joysticks. These are joysticks? Interesting. Hopefully these guys stay in place without the use of need for glue. Let's give it a try. Okay. Looks like I probably will need glue if I'm to handle this very frequently. But you know how the glue gets everywhere if you're not careful with it. This one is kind of tough. I might need glue. Okay, that was a bit ridiculous, but hopefully they stay in place. So now we're going to take some screws, get these ready, and we're going to work on the steering column. A couple SM screws. And we need the universal joint. This tiny little thing. We're going to install this. Hopefully. Let's get the other side going so we have a little bit of a brace, because right now that universal joint is just spinning in my hand. And what I need now is something to hold that joint. It's gonna be like this. Give me a second. All right, I got that. Got the universal joint in there. I got it pretty tight. If it doesn't really turn the steering wheel, then I'll loosen those up. Now we install this guy in like this. What do we need? A BM screw. Let's get a BM screw ready. This is a little bit bigger. Put that here. There is a particular way it goes in. If it goes in, there, like that. And let's screw it in. All right, so there's the steering column. Next up, we have instrument panel. And we put this guy in there, I guess. Let's try that. Didn't the 53 or something like that, Chrysler 300 have like the speedometer here in the steering wheel, I think, and it was like a big globe or something to that effect. Yeah, this is being difficult, so give me a second to try and work that in. Okay, I got that. And now we flip it over and put these in, this one in this way. And it has all these different colored lights on it. That's really neat looking. This fits in like that. That looks really good. And see, let's go ahead and get rid of some fingerprints. Okay, now what's next? Okay, now we have this speedometer gauge. Make sure it's the right way. Let me look under the microscope, make sure it's it is the right direction. Get that centered there. Okay. Is that right? And let's put this on. here. So that's the steering wheel. Hopefully that glass did not fit in very snugly. Hopefully it does not come out. And this is not very snug either. I'm not going to glue it just yet. If it pops out or whatever. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. See, these instructions are stupid. You see, how it shows me to put this like this? That's not the way steering wheel goes. Steering wheel goes like this. So those numbers showing the speed should be against that black background right there. Freaking retarded. And let me take this out. Let me correct it and show you the right way. They don't tell you that. There we go. I gotta say it. I got really lucky. And that looks pretty darn center to me. You can see the speedometer goes from 10 to 150. This car went 150 miles an hour. Whoa. Okay. And now let's put this bad boy in here like it's supposed to be. Okay, and see now those indicator lights, the red, green, red, orange, red, blue, which stands for the temp, oil, let's see what else, temp, oil, generator, and fuel. So those are your indicator lights. When they light up, then you have problems. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Let me get on to stage 84. All right, stage 84. This one, we got 3 left. Hopefully this video is not too long. Fast forward through the good stuff. Okay, part 2, Julie Newmar, special guest. Batman, Great Batman Comics, year by year. And our car parts. What do we got? Firewall, fuse box bracket, and cable. Let's get into this. There we go, more of this stuff. What do I have to do here? Just take this guy, install this guy. Okay, and then take this cable and install it here. Remember my little secret? You just wiggle, 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 and it walks right on. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There, and it's all the way in. All right, that's it for stage 84. Nothing else to do. Okay. All right, so we got stage 85 equaling episode 85, and visiting hero is the Green Hornet and Kato. Bruce Lee, I definitely did not see this growing up in the early mid-70s. Yeah, they withheld a lot from us from the original series. Crazy. Alrighty, Great Batman Comics, year by year. Bane, Red Robin. And our car parts. What do we got? A battery bracket, vent plug, terminal, starter motor bracket, starter motor rear, cable. Alrighty, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see here, all the car parts for stage 85. We're going to start with the battery, to the battery bracket. And let's see here. Looks like it goes this way. Why is this thing fighting me? It's supposed to be like this, I guess. Okay. Alright, so now I need some screws. Let's get these guys ready. There's one. And here's two. Alright, so I have our battery on the battery bracket. And now they want us to install these the two terminals on the ends. So let's do that. Be careful, doesn't fall on the ground. There's one. And this one goes this way. Two. Okay, now we have to take all of our vent plugs, these yellow guys, and install them here. It's going to take me a minute. Be right back. These tweezers have been quite helpful these last few stages. So what I'm doing here, you have to choke up on it. Don't use the tip because you get no clamping force. So you choke up and you can really hold it down. Then when I go like this, I stick my nail in there. Make sure it stays straight. See, even back there, it could be, hold it as tight as you can. See that? You gotta be careful. You can lose a little tiny piece real easy. And then just kind of push it down. If it doesn't move on you, hold on. Well, I had to break out these guys. Let's see if I could duplicate this. That first method was not working. Grab that on the flat side and try and like wiggle it, and it doesn't appear to be causing any damage. Let's try it. Let's see if we can repeat it. All right. Okay. Give some color to the battery. Huh? Everything's like black on this car. Okay, and we got one more. Thank God I didn't lose any. Okay. Then I take my flat spot and just my flat side of my tweezer and just, oh, that really hurts the skin if you try and push it with your skin. You'll leave massive indents in your fingers. Alrighty, we got that. So now we got the firewall, and we're going to install this on the firewall like so. Some TP screws. Let's grab one. Oh, come on. Stop being like that. All right, now we're going to, that. There's our battery on the firewall. Now they want us to take this fuse box. And put this on here, I guess like this. Looks like to me. Okay. And now we take the starter, put the other wire on the starter, do the wiggle, 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 wiggle. And we're going to take this piece, put it on the back of the starter. Okay. And push this starter onto the wall. And it looks like this. Okay. Now this goes onto the firewall. Just like that, I guess. Let's get some screws ready. Oh, come back here. Okay. All right, and now we got to connect the rest of the cables to the batteries. Okay, got this one, this one. Let's tighten this bad boy. And all that's left for this episode is we take this long cable and connect it to this terminal. All right, I'm gonna do that off camera because it seems to be a little pain in the butt. Okay, hold on. Okay, so there we go. That looks pretty similar to me. Just pull it back, pull the slack back this way, and that's all for stage 85. I guess it's stage 86 ready, and that'll be it. Okay, stage 86, and then I'm closing out this video. He's still Batman's still working with Kato and Green Hornet here. Batman year by year, great Batman comics, and here we go. We got the power steering reservoir, power steering gear. We got a hose connector, hose, radiator, and I'm gonna put all this together, I think, on the firewall. First up, I have this guy, and I gotta install this guy. Okay, Okay. Push it really tight. Okay. I think that's all the way. Maybe not. I can try and do a little more. Okay. And then we have this guy goes into the side like this. Wow, these small little tiny pieces really hurt your finger. But they all have this like D-shaped post. It fits into this D-shaped hole. It's not a complete round hole. That way, you know, your piece is in the direction they want it to be. Okay, so now I take my little hose. .86C. Okay, and it attaches here. All right, and then I have my 110 millimeter hose. 86E, that's this guy here, and attaches up here. Okay, and now this bad boy goes onto the firewall right here with a AP screw. Let's get the screws ready. Are you guys enjoying this video, these videos I put out, enjoying the content? Let me know. As if you want change, you want improvement, just let me know. I'm doing me, but if there's anything I could improve, you know, I'm open to that. You know, I could use any advice. I'm not really, don't really know how all this YouTube stuff works, and any advice is helpful. This is being a pain. Let me tighten this down here. Tighten it down a little more. Okay, so I got power steering gear right here. All right. And okay, so now we're gonna install the two radiators. Let's see, they have these posts on top. They go face up like this. And we're going to use some AP screws to install these. Let's do that. Okay, just installing the last screw on these two radiators. Let me just double check. They're snug. Okay, so that firewall is really taking shape there. Okay, and then now I need to take this big hose. This is what screwed me up with the brake lines. They want me to cut this. So I'm going to try and figure this out. I don't have I do not have a metric ruler. But I got to take this guy, cut it into 4 pieces: a 70 millimeter, 100 millimeter, 75 millimeter, and a 95 millimeter. And then and starting from left to right. I put them in here. They attach right here. These are really short posts, so I'm probably gonna glue these. So let me figure out how to cut these and get them the right lengths. Okay, I'll be back. Turns out I did have a little ruler. It's right here on my caliper here. My tool here. And so I have a 70, 100, 75, and 95. So the first hose, 85G, the 95, goes on the top left radiator, right there, right here. So I am going to get some glue because these posts are super shallow, and I gotta find something to dip. We're gonna use this guy here. So let's start with this one. And I'm not going to disturb this till it is completely dry. Next up, that's the 100mm. That's this guy. Goes over here. We get another dip. Okay. Alrighty. And now next up, the 75mm. That's this guy. So that must mean this is the 70mm. Get a dip. All right. Let me close this up. The last time I forgot to close this. All right. And that is all for this stage. I have to wait for next month's issue, the box to show up with the next 6 stages. And then we'll continue properly after that. All right, thanks guys for watching. We'll see you next time.